Good afternoon. It's Michael Brandt with Drive Traffic Media. Today, we're going to be going over content writing, the different types of content writing, how to write different kinds of content, and also how to speak to the right audience. Meaning if you are speaking to a very technical group, then you want to speak more technical. If you are speaking to laymen and it's very technical, then you have to balance it by speaking to in more of a layman term. And that's just levels. Now we have personalities. Each person is different. Some people, if you're trying to sell to them, you have to sell to them in the right way. So we're going to jump into that, but we'll jump into different types of content writing first. So I'm going to share the screen and we'll jump into the different content. So the different types of content, there's a great blog right here. Constantcontent.com. I actually own that one without the dash at one time. That's funny. So this is how to blog. So blogging is obviously a very, very big category in our industry for online marketing, and it should be for your company too. Everybody should have a blog on their site, and there's on-site blogging and there's off-site blogging. So there can be quite a few types of blogs. There can be company updates, there can be industry updates, there could be covering a topic of news, covering a topic on somebody getting a promotion. What you're doing is you're really educating people on the culture of your business. You're also reminding them of your industry, what's changing, what's coming up, what's changing for the good, what's changing for the bad, and then also twist the bad so it's actually a good, because you don't want to make your post all negative and so on. So the other types of content marketing, there is lots of different content writing. There's quotes, there's stats. You could write up stats. Roundups, that's different types of collaborations. Q&As are a huge section in website marketing. There's interviews. You can do interviews, which are great because the interviews are awesome because you can interview somebody and then you can actually make content out of it. So that's a great way to portray and get content from people. A lot of people don't know what to say about their business, but all you have to do is interview them and you will get a lot of different content. A lot of times we'll interview our clients and that'll give us almost like 3 to 6 months of content writing, depending on how many blogs that we have to write for them a month. But it does give us a lot of ways. So just getting, if you're going to interview somebody to get content, then think of blog content ideas. Think of, for laser eye surgeons, for Excel eye, there's a lot of great topics to talk about, success rate. We could ask questions about why the doctor is so passionate about what he does. We can ask about, experiences, and I've done this quite a bit. Unique stories. One of my favorite was the biggest change in eyesight, where somebody was almost totally blind and they just balled up in tears when they actually opened their eyes because there was such a significant change in sight. Even with glasses, they could barely see. So that's something that you want to talk about, bring into the content writing. So there's all types of interviews. That's company news. That's also, let's say a new location opened. Let's say a new product has, there's product news too. A new product has, that you started supporting or you're going to be supporting or giving that service. News release. So this is great for press releases. Press releases are actually, there's press release sites. And those are great because people really want to hear something new in news. So comparisons. Now this can be written on the negative side a lot of times. So you want to make sure you're writing a comparison in a positive light. You don't want to just trash your competitor or your competition at all, because it just comparing yourself with other people, other products, other things, it's kind of tough, obviously. So Listicles, I'm not sure what that is, but it's down here, so we can look at it in a minute. I thought I knew all of these. I reviewed them. That was a new one. Step-by-step guides. So this is great, you know, how to sign up for LinkedIn and how to say you work at a company. I'm actually doing one now for Wilson Automotive, a step-to-step guide and a YouTube to follow up with it. Why hire us? Why is this the best? New strategies, research, you know, that's obviously, you want to back up something, you need to have the research behind it. Best practices, tips, checklist, what's gone wrong. Repurposing content. We know this fairly well, is getting content and making it more yours or original in Google's eyes. Very, very important. And then we'll actually go into copywriting too, how to check your copywriting and so on. The one that's not showing on here and the one that we want to talk about most today is on-site content. So some of these are on-site content, you know, like question and answers could definitely be, you know, written up as a section in your site. People have a lot of questions for, you know, different products and why they should do something, you know, like laser eye surgery. You know, why do I want to be, you know, why do I want to subject myself to possibly the problems with eye surgery? But the problem, then you research, you find out that there's very few people that ever have, you know, problems. And usually if there is a problem, it's very small. Maybe they have to put in eye drops a couple of times a day because they get dryness. But it's much easier to put eye drops in than put in, you know, wear glasses all the time that are uncomfortable, or wear contacts, which is a lot more work. You're putting your fingers in your eyes all the time. You can get infections. It's a costly item. So a trade for, you know, a couple eye drops the rest of your life a day to poking your eye with your finger. Just think if you're out camping and you have to put your eye lens in and it's dirty out and you have nothing really to clean, and you know, you do your best, but then a little piece of sand gets in between your eye and the contact. Well, that wouldn't happen if you had laser eye surgery. So that's a great way to talk about it. So let's get into the different types of writing and also how to speak to your audience. So this is the code breaker. I actually have let me see. Right here is the code breaker. And what this does is when you put content in there, so let's grab this content. I know I'm going to jump ahead here if you don't know what the code breaker is about with your bank code, but we're going to put this content in here. This is the first content that is in Dr. Moose's site. So let's break this code and see who we're speaking to. So this tells us who we're speaking to mostly. So blueprint, action, nurture, and knowledge. So who are we speaking to the mostly here? Out of this number is action. So it's like, you know, those are the best people to sell to, because if we can talk to a person in action, they will buy instantly. And that's great to really speak to the action people, but you also want to speak to the nurture people, the knowledge people, and the blueprint. So each person has a different personality. So right now, this is action, nurture, knowledge, and bank. So we want to probably want to go in here and balance out these words. So what is a bank code? So a bank code, it basically, everyone has a bank code. Some people are very even across, but there's always a more balanced number. So what you do here is, you know, so crack my code. Everybody can go online and take this test. So basically you just go in here and you say, crack my code, and then it'll email you specifically what your personality is. So these are the 4 basic personalities of everyone. So just looking at these cards, this tells you, if this person, let's say this, I'll show you guys my code. So that's my code for me. So when you sell to me, I want to know that, let's say I'm getting a larger office, right? I want to make sure I can afford it because I want to make sure my team will enjoy the location. Number two, that they'll, I'll be able to afford it so I can pay everyone still, and then I'm not the person that wants big flashy flash, even though we have a nice ocean view. It's not, a flashy office. It's not something that, it does what it needs to do. It's, it's a nice office. A lot of people work virtual for us, so it's not a huge, imperative for us to have a massive office. But it has to have, we have the coffee, we have the refrigerator. So if I'm going to get a place, I want to make sure everyone is comfortable. There's enough space. It's easy to get to. The parking's not too far away because it is in LA. So this is how I would sell for an office. And then knowledge card is very factual. This person is the hardest person to sell to. They want to know so much about everything. They want knowledge, they want facts, and they take time to actually close. Now your action card, this is the person that we all know drives the fancy car, they have flashy clothes, they got that big nice watch, it's massive. I'm a nurturer. I wear a black tee from Old Navy and not expensive jeans. But I have a nice suit, I have a nice cars, but I'm like, oh, I'm probably a action person because I have a couple nice cars, right? Nope. That's because I'm a knowledge person. Knowledge people like performance cars. So that's an interesting. And then you have the blueprint. The blueprint person is a person that wants structure, systems planning. So if you're trying to get laser eye surgery for this person, you want to make sure they're going to be on time. They're going to be clean. They want to make sure your credentials are up to date, and they want to make sure that you're going to take care of them and their follow-up meetings are going to be on time. This person is, if you're on time, you're late. They want you to be there 5 minutes early, if not 20. They'll be there 5 minutes to 20 minutes early, and they're crazy about this. Is your bookkeeper. These are great things for project management, keeping things on track and rules, but it's also very hard if you're a marketing project manager because you get stuck in all the minutia. So you want to have some action also for, let's say, a project manager that does marketing. So these are the 4 personalities. So when you have somebody coming to your website, who are we selling to on this website? We are selling to everyone, right? Everyone that has eyes, which is most everyone, and has, a failing vision or problems. So we're speaking to everyone basically. Now, online marketing, right? Here we are with online marketing. Who are we selling to here? We're selling to business owners. Who are business owners? Well, they're usually a combination of all of these cards, right? But a lot of times they're action people. So we like to speak to action people, because if I get stuck with knowledge people, they take months to close at times. I closed a engineer and I spoke to him. He ghosted me for 4 months. And then he comes back and he goes, I'm ready. I'm like, no questions. I'm ready. Let's go. Because what I did is I gave him as many questions to answer. I answered. We had about 5 meetings, and I was like, oh, this person was referred through another business friend, and he looks like a solid close. And he did not close fast because he's a knowledge card. He has actually an engineer. So he needed to make sure that he had all the answers. And then he was going to his boss, which is another engineer. So it's really hard. So that language on the site, you want to make sure you're speaking to the right audience. So if I take a chunk, let's just take a little chunk here and go. to the code breaker again, and let's see who I'm speaking to in this audience. So here we go. Action and nurture. Very much me. I'm an action nurture, but knowledge, look how knowledge, it's very small on knowledge, but that was a very small chunk. We get into sections into the website that's more knowledge driven. So this is good though. These are two good ones. These are my favorite people actually to close, to have as clients. Nurture is very important. I love having nurture clients. They want to make sure that they're taken care of, that they're going to be able to feed their family, that they're going to be able to take care of their staff. They're very caring and loving people. And I love to know these people too, because they are like me. I'm a nurturer. I'm a caring person. I love my clients. I want to make sure that they're taken care of well. I don't put them in packages that are too expensive for them, or it's not going to get them a return on investment. So this is really cool to have an action and a nurture as my leading client. Now the action people, they're just like, is it going to work, Michael? Come on, tell me I'm going to make more money. I go, yes, you are going to make more money. Most likely. There's no guarantees in marketing. It looks like there's a lot of traffic and you have a lot of opportunity. There's this much business out there. It looks very good. Okay, sounds good, Michael. You sound like you know what you're doing, and then we have the team behind it. So I love those action people because they'll close right on the spot. The nurture person, take a couple more calls maybe, but action within a couple of calls, they close. Blueprint can be very tough. So we have something in our company that we call on the dot. So if it's 12 o'clock, it's double zeros. We call right on the dot because we want to cover the bases of everyone. So if somebody has a bad experience with people, especially online marketers, web developers, online marketing companies are very flaky. They can be. I hate to throw people under the bus and stuff, but they are known for not making calls on time, not returning calls, not answering their phones, not answering their emails. So that's something that we're very, very important. One of the most important things that we do is pick up that phone when somebody calls, and we also return the call within the day if that person was busy. We rather have them email us any other questions, and then we email them back within a couple hours or by the end of the day. If it's morning, so we want to cover the bases for the blueprint. We want to cover the base in the nurture, because if you don't answer your phone, you're not giving that nurture. And if you don't pick up the phone for an action, they want to know now, come on, what's going on? Because they're like this. They're like, oh, well, the marketing seems like it's working. Then they have lunch with a friend. Why aren't you doing social media that much? I'm like, well, social media doesn't make you as much money, but this guy says he does get business through it. So now we're talking about social media. They call you immediately. I want social media, Michael. I'm like, well, it's not going to make you as much money as what we're doing. If you put more budget into the AdWords, you're going to get more money. Okay, let's do that then. So they're very like action. They want to get a lot of fast action. So answering the phone is very important to make sure you do it for all the personalities. And that's where when we're writing content, we want to make sure that we have the personalities in there. So this code cracker is the key. So when I talk to somebody, I'll send them this test a lot of times. I haven't recently, because when I talk to people, I can really get the gist of their first two cards. And if you know their first two cards, like I'm a nurture and I'm a knowledge, I will know how to sell to them properly. So the nurture, you want to make sure they're taken care of. The knowledge, they want all the facts. Is it going to work? Is it going to make me money? If they were a action and a knowledge, that means their action's going to take over the knowledge. So because it's the first card and it's a more dominant card. But they're going to have some big questions and a lot of questions, because that knowledge card is going to. So I can get the sense of when I talk to somebody in sales, and especially when they become our clients, of how they are driven in what they want for results, what they want for their customer service. So really, really important. So looking at content. So when we write on-site content is the most important content, because this is a focus. And this comes down to Landing pages, if you're taking someone to a very specific product or item, you want to make sure that they are getting the answers that they want. So you really want to tell a story. What do we do? Why are we different? Call to actions. You know, you want to have call to actions throughout. So here's a call to action right here on the page. Here's a call to action for free LASIK consultation, which takes you to this page, which we should actually have some more copywriting on here, which will probably add it. So phone number, call to action, as it highlights, it's mobile responsive. Let's go back to the home page. Form right on the home page, it's just below the fold, it's called. So somebody's pretty sold already. Let's say they, you know, saw retargeting 7 to 10 times. They've researched other companies. They're interested and they want to get the next step. So that's important. Request orange buttons are great because they pop. Red is great. Yellow can be great. These are call to action buttons. So showing reviews, and these are third-party reviews, meaning they're on a different website than theirs, and they can click them and actually they should be able to go to them. Whoop, that's not clicking. We should get those highlighted to take to the site. So that should, because then they can check out all the reviews. That's really important. The different technology. So if you're getting a laser eye surgery, what do you think would be important to a knowledge, right? A knowledge would be, do they have the best technology? Are they up to date with the most current education, right? So this is where we have Harvard trained, you know, 20 years of experience, Dr. Musa, right here. And this is his team and his social media. You know, we really want to make the whole lifestyle of this to freedom, you know, freedom, fun, travel. You can do this. So this is really important. So the first thing you want to do, so right here, we put the offer right on the top. So right now we're doing the financing option. We're testing out something new. So this, when people click the ad, this is the main landing page, because if we have to put everything on one page, sometimes it is massively long. So this is where you want to put your content and all that. Then we have a podcast here, so they can listen to them. They have a video testimonial right here with Shelby Bay. And then we have the actual social media posts right here, some facts, important facts. This is the freedom, you know, you have the freedom to be in the pool without having your glasses on, even though they do have sunglasses on. Some facts, this is another, you can be in nature, you can do fun stuff. Here's some technology with Dr. Musa talking. So this is great. And then this is our little bit of our content stuffing. Now, if I had to put 1,000 words on this page, it could be a little bit messy, right? So this is our hidden content. So when you're writing on-site content and you're like, oh, we need to have 1,000 words in there, and then 1,000 words is a lot of words, right, for a page. So what we do is we break it out into sections, right, and on the page. So this is a big chunk, but it does have some breaks in it, and then a little chunk here. So this all counts as on-site content. Then the reviews, I think we made those images because we don't want duplicate content. So those are images actually. So do not follow images. We don't want them to read that content. And then this is more content. This is more content. And then this is content. So this all counts as the minimum count words. So right here is our hidden. So when you're doing on-site content writing, and let's say it's more than 500 words, then you have to make sure that you are spreading it out, right? And then this also does answer a lot of questions. So LASIK eye surgery, what is this going to do? Everybody, if nobody knows what it is, then this is really helping your knowledge card. many different cards. It's just they need a basic understanding. The procedure, so they're talking about the locations, clear vision, what's the patient care, so after the surgery. So this goes more to the nurture card and the knowledge card, and everyone wants to know the patient care after. And then the success rate, this goes right into the knowledge card. So now here we are satisfying a lot of the different cards through this tab system. So maybe one person wouldn't click, the action person wouldn't click patient care because they're like, whatever, they know what they're doing. They're gonna have me come in after the thing. They just like, whatever, I'll deal with it when it comes. But the nurture card wants to know, how am I going to be taken care of after? Are they going to, follow up with me and make sure that my eyes are working right after the surgery? So it's very important to them. So that's where you're speaking to the different audiences with this tab system. So that's very important. We should probably, expand on some of these a little bit because it would speak to the audiences more. So think of your audience when you're writing for them. When you're writing on-site content, you want to make sure you're speaking to your audience as the owner, the person that cares, and then this really helps people understand. And then you have to have the right words in there, the right letters in there. You have to also have the focus keywords, because what these pages are anchor pages, and we want to make sure that we get our focus keyword on the top of the page, and then throughout the rest of the site that we actually have those keywords in there too. So very, very important, obviously. So that is on-site content is really important. Obviously, this helps you crack the code for the individuals. And then when you're thinking of, you want to make sure when you're writing your content that you are speaking to the right person. So let's say crystal clear cleaners. Oh, it's dry cleaners to go. There it is. There it is, dry cleaners to go. Loading a little slow, that's Zoom, though Zoom does that. So on this site, you are seeing specifically all the different services that they take care of for you. Why choose our services? It goes into this message in here. So we can take actually a couple of these chunks of information. So let's see. I love this clip in, this plugin too. Careful if you clip something that's personal, then delete it. But it's a great plugin because you can go back. So let's crack this code and see who we're speaking to. It's like, who is a dry cleaning client? So this is really good, actually. Blueprint, action, nurture, and knowledge. So what would we do in here is add a section on facts on the home page. That would probably be good. So let's look on the facts. Yeah, we don't see like there's some reviews that can kind of be factual. There's some blogs, but yeah, right in this section, we can probably put in some common asked questions, frequent asked questions. We might be able to move that section on the home page, some of these at least, and that would bring in more of the knowledge to the person, because who would really want to use this product? Who would really be happy with this product? It would probably be somebody that they want dry cleaning delivered to them, That's pretty cool. I mean, that's an action person. They don't want to deal with going to the dry cleaners. It's above them. Maybe the nurture person wants to go in person. They want to know the dry cleaners. They want to be involved in the neighborhood. So they have options to go to the cleaners too. This is Bill Alvarez. He's an intense businessman, but he's a big old softy and sweetheart. So if you know him as a client, you're gonna love him. So that's where this can be, nice for that person. The knowledge, the blueprint person, is my dry cleaning going to be on time? Is it going to be clean and look great? Knowledge person, what kind of products do you use? Are they nature? Are they, clean? Are they going to make my clothes last long? They want to know all these knowledge facts. So when you're writing content for someone like a dry cleaners, it's going to be all four of the audiences too. Okay. Now, what person is a bigger client for them? Is that something that they've been attracting the action person more? Because, Bill as himself, he goes out and networks and he is a personality plus person. So is that the people that he's attracted and he has more action people? That might be someone to ask. Maybe doesn't know a lot of his clients because he just delivers to them and he doesn't ever meet them, but he might talk to them on the phone. So anyways, yeah, so that's on-site content is very, very important, obviously, when it comes down to, writing it the right way and then checking it with the AI is really helpful. But you can also just make sure that you're answering the right questions. You don't really need the AI. It's just a very helpful tool to, help you, get everything you need. So other types of content to write for when you are writing an how-to blog, who are you speaking to? Well, it comes down to your potential client. Certain things are going to feed certain people's personalities better than others. So quotes, who's going to like a quote? If you quote somebody that is very knowledgeable and they're respected, then it might be someone more like a knowledge person. They like that because it's factual. You're bringing up something, quotes that make sense for the business. So stats, who's that for? Oh my goodness, right? You're talking blueprint and knowledge card. They like that. So collaborations, that's, everyone pretty much. Interviews, everyone. Company news, everyone, So these are all great ways you can put this stuff on your site too. It's great. And then also you can, there's all types of white papers. Now that's a monster, that usually takes about 4 people about 2 months to create a really good white paper. They're massive. I actually said, let's do one. And then I researched on how much work it was. And I said, you know what, we don't need it. Ebooks are great. These are great for ethical bribes. Now, what would somebody want a free ebook on? An ebook for dry cleaners, 18 ways to, keep your clothes lasting longer. If somebody's buying beautiful designer clothes and they want to make sure the threads stay nice, the colors stay bright, and they want those clothes to last long, very long, because they spent hundreds and thousands of dollars possibly in those clothes. So somebody would love an ebook, and then you get them on your email list. The secrets of growing your local business. That would be a great one for us. Get your free download, and then once they download it, then they're on an autoresponder, and then they get emails, and then they get the monthly email newsletter, and then that keeps a person that was potentially, success stories. Customer success stories are great. This puts you into the different types of people, the way people learn about your business. Some people tell stories to explain their products. Like I stepped into an office of a person that has a very large company for a NAS drive, which keeps all your data very safe and encrypted, some totally offline, some online. And he went into a story on how he had to help recover content from a high rise in downtown LA, and how he told us his story was how he educated me on his company. And it was very interesting. Trust me, that story was way more interesting than listening to how NAS drives keep things safe, right? Because he had to walk up this high rise. He was telling me he was in really good shape. And, you know, it was a whole story. It was very interesting, man. So that was a better story for me because I like storytelling and I learned better through storytelling. Did he know this about me? I don't know. Maybe he read me, or maybe this is the way he tells his story about to get people up to speed. Case studies are great. Case studies are very important. How did you help this individual? How did you, you know, get for a wedding dress for a dry cleaners? That's a great case study. He took on this dress that was handed down from the grandmother, and it was very old. It was kind of falling apart a little bit. They fixed it, they cleaned it, they restored it, and she was able to have an amazing wedding. And then after he restored it again and boxed it, so she could possibly have it for herself or her daughter someday, maybe. Product content and guidelines. This is, you know, pretty self-explanatory. It's you know, how to use the product. Resource centers. This is great. Sometimes Google will pick you up as a specific keyword, and then you are the #1 search. That's called the zero spot. And that's where, you know, you ask Alexa and it starts speaking. That's an amazing position to be in. Testimonials, awesome. Testimonials are great. You can do testimonials different ways. You can actually tell a story and then get the testimonial, and that can kind of be like a case study with a testimonial. So there's great ways. So testimonials are great. If they are on a third-party site, make sure that you maybe take an image of the words, or you put a do not follow for that content, because we do not want duplicate content. So anyways, these are all different types of content. Content can also be through infographics. Infographics are great because they really tell a great story and they're awesome. So that's awesome. A video is a great way to get content too. Now you can interview someone, you can record them, you can put that video on there, and then you can write up all the content too. Let's say you're interviewing them for their homepage content. They tell you all about their story and their business, and then you take out all that story and just take the content that was important for the homepage, and then you make that video a blog. So there's lots of great ways of getting content and repurposing it. Oh, there's infographics, like I said. GIFs, they're fun. Anyways, this is all the different types of content there is out there. And the most important content and the main focus that we go for is your on-site content, your blogs, and you know, the email marketing is also a very, very important structure too. It's a really, really big talent to create a sales funnel, also a funnel. So that means if you signed up for that ebook, you're going to get many emails to upgrade to actually buying a product. They didn't know they were going to sign up and possibly buy that product, but you know, they were reading content on your site for some reason and they wanted that free content. We want to get them to become a sale. So very important to make sure that you are actually getting them to buy something, right? We're not doing all of this just as a philanthropic venture, right? We want to make sure our clients are making money. You're making money with the content that you're making. If it is a philanthropic venture, then great. That's awesome. Content writing is very important too. So nothing wrong with philanthropic. It's very important to make sure. So let's go into one other thing. There is Copyscape is one of our favorite websites for content. There's a couple ways to use it. You don't have to be signed in, and you can just add the URL. But if the copywriting is not live, then you cannot, you know, test it. So we're just going to put the content in there without logging in and see what we get. See, it won't let you. So for very few pennies to do a search, we're going to put this in here. See, you can see $8.71. This is going to cost like 5 cents or something, 3 cents. So right now we are seeing it on some other sites. So what you're going to do is look on the content. Now this client is not an SEO content, right? So he might have some content out there that is on other sites because he gave us the content. We did not write it for him. So this is probably something I should talk him into, is doing some organic SEO, but he's done it before. He ranks pretty well. So when he's looking at this content, it's just on the dry cleaning site. So that's fine. That's just on one site. So there we go. It's fine. European dry cleaners, 31 dry cleaners, Orange County. So yeah, that content was taken by them. So looking at this, sometimes they're just taking like 2 sentences. So it'll highlight right here. Oh, your time is precious. Understand, like, yeah, there's 1 sentence in here. You know, I mean, we could rewrite that sentence and make it, you know, and Pinterest doesn't have that one anymore. So Google. So copywriting is really important to make sure it's original. And that's very important to make sure when you write content that it's original in Google's eyes. So a lot of times we repurpose content. We don't need to make it original. We'll give a recognition to, let's say, Wix or something if they wrote the content, or you know, social media jungle or whatever it's called. We'll give them you know, that we source this content from this blog, and actually give them a backlink, and it helps them. But the content doesn't need to be all original. It just needs to be original in Google's eyes, which you can see in this, that there's not much out there for this amount of content. So that's good. You know, it's not a huge amount of content, but that's pretty original out there, because you can just check those and see that it's not out there too much. That's really important too in your content writing, especially if you're doing anchor pages and your blogs on site. If you're doing off-site blogging, yes, you want that original too, but it's not going to hurt you as much if there is some content that's not 100% accurate. I mean, 100%, you know, original. So anyways, that's it. So getting that on-site content, very important to make sure you are you know, like, this is a good one. Other thing too, I'm sorry, is how you space it. So when you are doing on-site content, you want to make sure you work with a designer. When you work with your designer, there's going to be sections. What sections go where? So here, let's look at this site. You know, like if we add a bunch of content under here, what is that going to make the website look like? It's going to have a big old white chunk right here, right? So that's where we want to put different, you know, different words in different sections. So here is a great example too on content writing. You see, we're doing 3 lines, 3 lines, and 3 lines. So if I did 5 lines on the green cleaning, that would push down everything, and then there would be a space here, which would make it look funny. You can see this is spaced really well. There's you know, industry sanitization notification for coronavirus here, and then all the breakdown here, address, phone number, email. You can see this is sectioned right. Even the reviews are pretty much the right size. This one's a little lower. This one's a little lower. This one's in the middle. So even we could stop the writing and actually push, you know, click more to read more, and it could take you to the actual review. So that would make this a little bit cleaner, but it looks pretty good right now. So it's not too worried about it. So that's where web design comes in, and it's very important. Let's see what we have for services page. Yeah, you can see each one has 3 lines, so it's spaced out really nice. Just that's just something to want to make sure that you are working with the web designer to make sure that it's going to fit properly. Now, if you're just doing a page where it's talking about the delivery, and doesn't have a lot of images, like this has an image at the bottom, all the cities that they do, and then it's just a bunch of a really big chunk of writing. And they're like, oh yeah, just give me whatever you have and I'll put the image on the bottom. So that's, it's not a huge focus page, but it's an important page itself. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them now. If not, that's fine too. I think I covered quite a bit, but if you have any other questions, make sure you can chat them to me, or that'll be it. I think we're good. So thank you guys for all joining today. And I hope this really gave a real, light on, your content writing. Content writing is a great career, no matter what you're doing out there in any industry that you are going to be working in. It's going to help you no matter what. I mean, content writing is pretty much everything out there, unless you're doing all manual labor job. If you're going to have a desk job, you're going to be typing, you're going to need to do content writing in different ways. And that is obviously a very important skill to have. The better you get, the better you are, obviously. One other thing is obviously, I can just go into Grammarly just a little bit, is the accuracy. I know it's just going to wrap it up here, but I want to make sure that you guys are being accurate in your content writing. So I train everyone to use Grammarly. It is awesome. It works in your email. You can get the premium plugin for your phone. So when you text and you do copywriting for social media, every single thing is correct in there. So let's just throw some content in here real quick. I'll just show you how it works. So this is giving you different suggestions. So first of all, this tells you, I really wish it worked with the AI too, for the different personalities. That would be great to have that right here. I should pitch that to that amazing woman that created that product. This tells you everything that's going on. Delivery, just right, all good in your style, clarity, mostly clear. This is AI, so it's just reading this. It might not be perfect, but, and then there's 2 alerts. This is saying right here, take, we are sure that you will love our service. We will, willing to pick up your dry cleaning anywhere in Orange County on us. They don't like on us. They don't realize on us is for free. We could change that to no extra charge. So that's telling us is, so at no extra charge. So there we go. So that it likes it. It likes it. So, and then that comes down to another point of topic too that I didn't cover, is neuro-linguistic programming. We as Drive Traffic Media are a company that uses NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. It's something that was built in the 70s, and what pretty much says, you think what the words you are saying. So if you say at no extra charge, what do you think? I'm going to be charged extra. So that's, another way to say at no extra charge. You could say for free, instead of a charge, at no extra charge. So you could say for free right there. So let's see if it makes sense. Instead of, because charge, you think I'm going to charge you, right? Even if it says no extra charge, all you hear is extra charge or free. There we go. That one works too. So for free, well, everybody wants something for free, right? So you could see, even if I said, even though it says it's free, I like that because everyone's paying the same price, because their delivery actually saves them money. Because what happens is they have one facility now. They used to have 3. And the biggest problem in a dry cleaners is people not picking up their clothes in a relatively fast manner. So what happens is if you have a delivery truck, they're going to go out and they're going to hang it on your fence. They're going to put it in your garage. They're going to, put it somewhere where somebody can't steal it, and they have insurance to cover that too. What happens is they don't have to make any extra. Then it keeps their actually storage, because they're a storefront property is very expensive. They can keep rotating and taking on more clients because they're always delivering that product on time. And that's a lot of product, a whole truckload twice a day. That's a lot of product. That would, if you have 3 trucks running, that's 6 trucks of actual clothes that are being delivered, and that gives the capacity, a higher capacity for actually taking on more clients. So for free, it's the same price. They like it because it saves them space. So it is for free. They're still paying a premium for dry cleaning, but it's done for free, delivered to your house, which is nice because nobody wants to deal with that. Going with the gas prices high and your time is valuable, it's better when it's just sitting there. You're like, oh, my laundry's at my house. So anyways, that's really important. NLP, grammar, making sure you're speaking to the right audience. All of these are very important in your content writing and super important for your on-site content writing. So this is Michael Brent, and have a great day. We're finishing right on time. Content writing is massive. It's so important. And that's why I hire writers, because I don't want to do it. I'm not a grammar person. That's why I have Grammarly all the time working for me, because, and if it's a really big email or if it's content, always get someone else to double check it for you, because AI is not going to see everything. You're not going to see everything, but an extra pair of eyes seeing it, make sure that they double check it for you. So this is Michael Brent with Drive Traffic Media. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.